In this video, I'm going to show you 3 ways to practice fasting for serious fat loss. And if you follow these steps, you could lose up to 20 pounds in less than 40 days. Let's do this. Hey Keto Camper, Ben Azadi here, best-selling author of 3 books and founder of Ketokamp. Here at Ketokamp, we're on a mission to educate and to inspire 1 billion people on planet Earth. I can't wait to share these 3 methods to practice fasting so you can get some serious results. Before I do, I want to lay some groundwork and really help you understand why fasting is the most powerful tool in the health shed. And then I'm going to give you the 3 ways to practice fasting with 2 bonus options to throw into the mix as well. Each individualized method to practice fasting is based off of how much weight you want to lose. So I'm going to base it off 5 to 15 pounds of extra weight you want to lose, 15 to 30 pounds of extra weight you want to lose, or more than 30 pounds of extra weight you want to lose. When you start talking about fasting with your friends, your coworkers, your family members, they're going to think you're nuts. They're going to say you're going to go into starvation mode, you are going to be unhealthy, you are going to create an eating disorder, blah, blah, blah. Those are the same people who lecture birds on how to fly. Here are some fasting facts for you. Fasting is not about eating less. It's about eating less often, going a period of time without food to keep insulin down. And you'll learn shortly why that is so important for burning fat. We also know that we are hardwired to fast. When you look at the average American eats 17 to 21 times per day. Don't shut off the video yet because you think I'm lying to you. This is how it's true. They are grabbing a handful of almonds. Maybe it's the healthiest keto snacks in the world, or it's kombucha, a protein bar, or a yogurt. Anytime you raise glucose and insulin, that is a meal to the body. So the average person, the average American, is not sitting down at a table and feasting 17 to 21 times per day, but they're raising their glucose and insulin, constantly in a fed state, constantly raising insulin, and you learn why that is a big problem. Fasting is not a fad, okay? Because fasting has been around since humans have been around. Same thing with keto. That's why keto is not a diet, it's a metabolic state. It's a metabolic process. Here's some interesting facts for you that I gathered from my best-selling book, The Intermittent Fasting Cheat Sheet, that you could buy on Amazon or get for free over at fastingcheatsheet.com. We have 3 of the biggest influencers in the history of this world: Jesus Christ, the Prophet Muhammad, and Buddha. They didn't agree on a lot of things, but they agreed on one thing, and that was the power of fasting. In fact, every religion has some method of fasting because fasting has been around since humans have existed. Just because it is a very popular search term on Dr. Google doesn't make it a fad. It's a fact. Here's another factoid for you. Pythagoras, who was a Greek mathematician back in 500 BC or so, way back in the day, he would systematically have his students fast. He would require it. They would have to fast for 40 days of water only before they could even enter his course, because he knew they would be at a peak state because it turns your brain right on. The body starts to think, oh crap, there's no food. Let's fire up this body on all cylinders to go hunt and kill, but you could use all that energy to crush the day. And Pythagoras knew it. We also know that early Greeks, they thought people who had seizures were actually possessed by demons. They were shaking, they were convulsing, and they didn't know that this was a seizure. They didn't even have a word for that. So they would actually take these individuals thinking they were being possessed by the devil, put them into a room, lock that room, come back a few days later, and they would stop having the seizures because they forced them to fast and they got into ketosis. We now know through research that ketones through fasting is a powerful way to help with seizures. So fasting and keto, they've been around forever. So any time you hear your friends say all these crazy things, just ask them if they know anything about these facts. I'm gonna relate this video to fat loss. I think that's why you found this video. Here's a trick for you. Stop focusing on weight loss and fat loss and start focusing on cellular inflammation. In my program, the Ketokamp Academy, I teach this in detail because we do not lose weight to get healthy. Dr. Berg says this all the time. We get healthy to lose weight. So what does that word healthy mean? Well, it's all about your cells and your hormones. So allow me to break it all down for you here. This is so crucial to understand, and if you could understand this, keto camper, you are well on your way to getting amazing long-term results. We are made up of 70 trillion cells. That's right, trillion with a T. Every cell has a lipid bilayer around it called the cell membrane. It is a lipid bilayer because guess what? It's made up of protein, saturated fat, and cholesterol. Yeah, your body loves fat. You're made up of fat. Less than 1% of the entire body is made up of carbohydrates. That's why we thrive off of healthy fats. Around your cells, on the cell membrane, we have these integral membrane proteins, IMPs, to make it very simplistic for you, cell receptor sites. Think of them as cell phone antenna signals. So every cell has these. What are they receiving communications from? Your hormones, your nutrients, and oxygen. So I'm going to relate this, because we're talking about fat loss, to the T3 hormone, and we'll even put leptin, which is another fat-burning hormone. They send signals to your cells, like all hormones do. Hormones are just chemical messengers. It is the language of the human body. Think of that traffic cop that is stopping cars and allowing traffic to come. Your hormones are doing the same thing. So when leptin and T3 attach to these cell receptor sites, it sends a signal to your mitochondria, which are these little organelles here, to start burning fat, producing energy like ATP, which is the gasoline of your cell. The more mitochondria, the more ATP, the more fat you're going to burn, the longer you're going to live, and the more energy you're going to have. All good things. As a matter of fact, we have 70 trillion cells, right? Each individual cell could have up to over 1,000 mitochondria. When you think about these metabolically active organs like the heart and the brain, they have thousands of mitochondria within each cell. When your cell produces energy and starts burning fat, it releases a little bit of some smoke, just like if I was going to burn firewood here in front of you here at Ketokamp HQ, it would produce smoke. Your cells produce smoke, but a healthy cell removes that. So it takes bad stuff, removes it, and lets the good stuff in. That's a person right here who's gonna burn fat. You might be thinking, well, why do I have this issue with weight gain and weight loss resistance? One word. You ready for it? Cellular inflammation. It's actually 2 words. I'm sorry about that. So 2 words, cellular inflammation. Yeah, you heard about inflammation. It's on the cover of Time magazine, the cause of all diseases. It's true. But when I say inflammation, I'm not talking about a sore shoulder or a sprained ankle or whatever it is. Yes, that's inflammation. I'm referring to cellular inflammation, cell membrane inflammation. When you have cell membrane inflammation, all of a sudden, these fat-burning hormones, T3, leptin, and all other 8 fat-burning hormones that we know of, your nutrients, your oxygen, can't get into the cell. And if it can't get into the cell, you're not gonna feel well. You're gonna have symptoms. One of those symptoms is weight gain and weight loss resistance. That's right, you don't have a weight problem. When I was obese and I weighed 250 pounds, I didn't have a weight problem. Nobody in the history of this world has ever had a weight problem. They have a weight symptom. The real problem is the hormones and the cell metabolism. When you're eating every 2 to 3 hours, guess what's happening? You're raising insulin. Insulin is a fat storage hormone. It is the only fat storage hormone that we have in the body. And insulin is the bully of the block. When you call insulin into the party, these fat-burning hormones, they're scattered. So think of your fat-burning hormones, all 8 of them, as these children in the playground having a good time, burning fat, doing their job. All of a sudden, you eat, you snack, insulin gets called to the playground. Those fat-burning hormones, they scatter, they run. And it creates a lot of inflammation because every time you eat a meal, it creates cellular smoke. And if you're doing it too much and your body can't keep up, your pancreas can't keep up, then it creates cellular inflammation. That's why fasting is my favorite tool, because not only are you now keeping insulin at baseline, you are also reducing inflammation. There's so much research that shows the benefits of fasting. It turns on longevity genes. It reduces actually cellular inflammation. It's a huge part of the protocol with my clients. So it's all about insulin. It's not about calories in versus calories out. Yes, calories do matter, but they are a huge distraction. They are not what is most important, because this is what's most important. Your body is not a calculator. Your body is not a bank account or a math equation. Your body is a complex chemistry lab, and when we start viewing it as such, you'll get the results you want. So fasting is a powerful way to start reducing inflammation. Now your fat-burning hormones can communicate to your cells, and by default of getting healthy, you lose weight. By default of getting healthy, your symptoms go away. Whether those symptoms are fatigue or whatever skin issue, that goes away when you get healthy through fasting. And before I get into the 3 ways for you to accelerate your fat loss with fasting, one of the main things I hear from people who don't understand human physiology is, aren't you going to have no energy when you don't eat food? Aren't you going to go into this starvation mode? Look, when you fast, your body actually pumps you full of energy. It doesn't take it away, because it takes massive amounts of energy and resources and blood flow to process food. Think about it. Have you ever feasted on a meal? Maybe it's Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner or whatever it is, and you had this huge meal. Was your thought process, I can't wait to go get some work done? No. Your thought process was, where's the couch? I'm going to go into a food coma. Because food takes energy away from you. It doesn't give you energy. But when you're fasting, now you have this energy that's being diverted to crush the day. Dr. Pompa, my mentor, who wrote a great book, Beyond Fasting, go get it, talks about energy diversion. Your body's now diverting energy to heal the body. But get this, there was a study that showed after a 4-day water fast, these participants increased their metabolism by 13%. You can see the chart right here where it says that 13%, this chart shows the metabolism didn't slow down, it sped up because of something called counter-regulatory hormones. This is what separates cutting calories and not fasting and cutting calories with fasting. Your body raises cortisol, human growth hormone, glucagon, catecholamines, and epinephrine when you are in a fasted state. They run counter to insulin. When insulin is down because you're not eating food through fasting, these hormones go up. This is your sympathetic tone. Human growth hormone, by the way, is a ultimate, very, very powerful fat-burning hormone. It is also anti-aging and muscle preserving and muscle building. Celebrities, musicians, artists, some of them pay thousands of dollars every single month just to get human growth hormone injected into them because it works. But there are side effects when you do it through an injection. Your body does it naturally. After a 24-hour fast, you could have 1,000 to 2,000% of an increase in human growth hormone. This is your body's way of pumping you full of energy, because the body thinks this, oh crap, we are going through a famish. It's been 16 hours, 24 hours, whatever it is, without food. We need to keep this body alert, energized, and pumped full of energy so it can be focused and have the capacity to go hunt and kill the next meal in order to stay alive. The body does not care that you have your cell phone and you could press an Uber Eats button and then have a millennial knock on your door in 30 minutes. It does not care about that refrigerator in your kitchen stocked full of food. You see, we are hardwired for the old school. And this is what's happening. Your body is actually pumping you full of energy. So you feel good, you're burning fat, and you're focused and mentally clear. So the brain fog is gone. You feel damn good. It's a superpower. I'm fasted right now, and I feel like I have a superpower. So let's put this myth to bed, shall we? Okay, the next sheet of paper is going to reveal to you the 3 ways to practice fasting for rapid fat loss. Before I reveal that to you, if you've gotten any value from this video, please hit the thumbs up button here on YouTube. It really does make a big difference. And if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, hit that subscribe button with the bell so you're notified when we release a brand new video. We also go live. I do a live question and answer about keto and fasting every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So please do so. Here are 3 ways for you to practice fasting for serious fat loss. The number 1 method is the 5-1-1 rule. Credit to Dr. Daniel Pompa, who helped me with this. This is great for somebody who has 5 to 15 pounds of extra body fat that you want to lose. This means 5 days out of the week, out of a 7-day week, 5 out of those 7 days, you're going to be doing an 18-6 intermittent fasting schedule, meaning 18 hours out of the day, you are fasted. You're just having some water and some sea salt. And then 6 hours out of the day is your eating window. I recommend having 2 meals until full, during that eating window. This would look like 12 to 6 p.m. is your eating window. So you break the fast at 12, have another meal around 5:30, you're done by 6 p.m., and then you continue fasting until 12 p.m. the next day. Do that for 5 days. If you could have those meals be ketogenic meals, you're going to get even more fat loss results because healthy fats do not raise glucose and insulin, but carbs do and protein can to an extent. So I do recommend doing this with keto, and I teach all about this in my Ketokamp Academy. And then one day out of the week, you are doing a 24-hour water fast. You're just going from dinner to dinner or lunch to lunch or breakfast to breakfast, whatever works for you. That is that one day. And then you have a 7th day. This day is going to be what I call a keto flex day, a feast day, meaning you're not going to fast. You're going to have breakfast and lunch and dinner, and you're going to just not snack in between your meals, and you're going to have more high healthy carbs, about 100 to 200 grams of high healthy carbs, just to remind your body that it's not starving and just to mix things up. The adaptation is key here. If you've ever worked with like a fitness coach or a personal trainer and you hit a plateau, what do? They change your workout. They change your routine, and then you continue getting results. Same thing with fasting. If we do too much fasting and we follow the same schedule, we'll start to plateau. So this is a great way to mix things up because adaptation creates healthier cells. Good cells get stronger, bad cells don't adapt. Same thing happens with your mitochondria. So that's the 5-1-1 rule. I teach more about this in depth in the Ketokamp Academy. This is great for somebody who has 5 to 15 pounds of extra fat. The second way to practice fasting for rapid fat loss is the 4-2-1 rule. Now this is great for somebody who has 15 to 30 pounds of extra fat. This might be you. So 4 days out of the week, you're following the same concept of an 18-6 fasting schedule, eating keto. That's for 4 days. And then you're gonna throw in, instead of a 24-hour fast, a 48-hour water fast. So you would, for example, Monday at 8 p.m. is your last meal, and then you go and you fast until Wednesday at 8 p.m. as a 48-hour fast. It doesn't have to be dinner, it could be lunch, but that is a 48-hour water fast. Just make sure you know what you're doing. Work with somebody, have water and sea salt, keep those electrolytes up. And then you're still gonna throw in that flex day, that feast day. Same rules apply from here. No fasting, high healthy carbs, about 100 to 200 grams. If, by the way, you have insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes, I do recommend instead of having that feast day with high healthy carbs, have high protein. We wanna activate something called mTOR, which is an anabolic pathway. It stands for mechanistic targeted rapamycin. That's the goal for that flex day. So that's your option number 2 if you have 15 to 30 pounds. Let's say you're over 30 pounds of extra weight right now. Well, I like OMAD for you. OMAD stands for 1 meal a day. So essentially, every single day you're going from dinner to dinner. You're just having one big meal, or lunch to lunch, or breakfast to breakfast. Look, whatever's better for your schedule and sustainable. This is great because your body's gonna get more of the autophagy. Studies show after the 24-hour mark, there was a study at MIT that you get more intestinal autophagy. Your body's gonna tap into more fat store. So I like this, and if you wanna throw in a 48-hour fast once in a while, that's a terrific protocol for you. Just keep in mind, as you start to lose weight on this, because you will, start mixing it up to different methods. So you could start actually, if you're over 30 pounds right now, and then you start dropping below that, then go to this method. And then you start dropping below that, go to this method. That's a great protocol for you to follow for long-term results. I do have 2 bonus tips for you here, and I thought of another one as I was recording this video, so I'm gonna give you 3 bonus tips. Before I do, I hope you hit that thumbs up button and you subscribe to this video, and I hope you're getting so much value from this. So how do you break your fast? This is very important to understand for any of these 3 methods, because how you break the fast is just as important as the fast itself. If you wanna continue your fat loss results, we wanna make sure we're breaking the fast the right way. Let me explain the wrong way to break your fast, and that's going to be with a combination of carbohydrates and fat. We don't wanna break our fast that way because when you break a fast, your hormones, remember we talked about hormones being the language of the human body, they're very sensitive when you are fasted, which is great, we want that. So when you eat carbohydrates, when you break a fast, you'll raise blood sugar, glucose in the bloodstream. The body will call the insulin troops from the pancreas, the beta cells in the pancreas, will signal insulin to grab the blood sugar and drive it to your cells and unlock that cell and push the glucose into the cells to bring the glucose back to normal levels into the bloodstream. But if you have fat in combination with the carbohydrates, fat goes along for the ride and it will slow down your fat loss results. So we don't want to combine fat and carbohydrates. The best way to break your fast, any method here that you're following, is a combination of mostly protein and a little bit of some healthy fat. My favorite way, by the way, and all the clients that I work with to get them fast results is to break it with a high quality bone broth. Not all bone broth is created equal, and I've done a lot of research on companies out there. I only use Kettle and Fire's bone broth. They are the best option for you here if you want to put it into your budget. I do have an exclusive 15% off coupon for you keto campers. If you go to kettleandfire.com/ketokamp and put ketokamp at checkout, you'll get 15% off. I get mine on auto ship. I recommend you do the same thing. They are by far the best bone broth I've ever tried and the best ingredients I've ever seen with the company. I also recommend you could have a high quality protein shake, maybe some eggs and an avocado. This is the way we want to break our fast to continue with fat loss results. The second tip here is to throw in some block fasting, especially if you are in this category of 15 plus pounds of extra weight. Block fasting means 3 or more days. I do recommend you work with somebody, you know a structure. I teach this in the academy, but I do recommend that for several of you who especially have a lot of excess weight, because your body during a block fast, whether it's 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, will use your fat stores for energy. That's what we want. So that's a great tool in the toolbox, but you gotta know how to use it, because fasting, by the way, is a powerful tool. It doesn't matter which method you're following. This is a powerful tool. A chainsaw is a powerful tool as well. You gotta know how to use the tool, otherwise you could hurt yourself with a chainsaw or with fasting. The bonus tip, the third bonus tip I'm gonna leave for you here is dry fasting. I know this might sound extreme. I do have some videos on my YouTube channel for it. In fact, there's a video right here all about dry fasting that you could watch after this video. Dry fasting essentially means no water at all. You're going to just fast, no food, no water. There's actually 2 types of dry fasting. A hard dry fast, meaning no water, no food, but you can't even wash your hands or take a shower because your body will insert some water and get hydrated from that. And then a soft dry fast. You can wash your hands, you can shower. But it's been said, and I've seen this, that you could actually get up to 3 times the fat loss and the autophagy, which is cellular repair, during a dry fast versus a water fast. Meaning, a 24-hour dry fast could get you the results of a 3-day water fast. Take caution, you gotta know what you're doing. Watch that video that I did on dry fasting. I'll put links for it down below. By the way, I'll also put links for the Kettle and Fire down below in case you missed that link. So I hope that video was helpful. I wanna know which of these 3 methods are you going to start following. Put a comment down below. Is it the 5-1-1 rule, the 4-2-1 rule, or is it OMAD? Let me know, and I can't wait to hear about your results. Also, if you wanna get my best-selling book on fasting, where I answer the top 20 questions on fasting and I back it up with science, you can get this for free over at fastingcheatsheet.com for a free digital download. If you'd like health coaching on all this information, if you'd like A to Z keto, which I call kindergarten to graduate school for keto and fasting, then I want you to get into the Ketokamp Academy, which is a monthly health coaching program with a whole bunch of other amazing content over at ketokampacademy.com. Check it out for a free trial, and I can't wait to coach you and have a coaching call with you and give you a structure for you to follow this information for long-term results. I want to thank you so much, Keto Camper, for watching the entire video. Thank you so much. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and hit that bell. You'll see me on the next video.